freedom is what everybody's chasing, but they're confused about what it actually looks like. It's not how much you make, it's how much you spend. There's a lot of people who could be way more free if they didn't overextend themselves on what they're buying.
So for this video, I wanted to talk about minimalism. Now, I do consider myself a minimalist, but kind of like a pseudo-minimalist. But I really wanted to talk about the connection between minimalism and just happiness or just overall life satisfaction. People define minimalism in different ways, and how people choose to practice and express it is solely at their discretion. There's certainly some people who are more aggressive, you know, they have drastically fewer things. And then there's people who are a little bit more conservative about it. They still have a decent amount of physical possessions. But for me, minimalism, obviously, it is a reflection of the materials you have, but it's more so a mentality more than anything. So with that being said, I guess I would consider myself to be somewhat of like a pseudo-minimalist. You know, I have furniture in my apartment. I have a couple of nice things, but for the most part, I do live a minimalist lifestyle. Most of the clothes I have are, or I would say at least 90% of the clothes I have are 4 years older. I don't shop a lot. I don't acquire more things than I need, and I don't actively seek out to acquire things. And when I do buy stuff, it's usually solely for the purpose of, you know, it being able to provide utility for me. And of course, still, I do buy stuff that I enjoy and get pleasure from. Because minimalism is not strictly, you know, anti-consumption. We do need to purchase things and consume things as a part of life. You know, in our society, we've always been programmed to just buy. And now it's even worse. We're constantly being thrown things and spoon-fed things and constantly seeing ads to buy this and buy that. And these companies are every year, or sometimes multiple times within a year, are launching new products, upgrades, and all that. But there have been so many studies done that show the correlation between consumerism, materialism, and happiness. And what you see constantly is that you either have people who are not happy with what they have and they want more, or you have people who get what they want and then they're still not fully satisfied and then they want more. It's like a vicious cycle. So the basis of, okay, so let's talk about the money does not buy happiness. The problem with that is that money does buy happiness. And instead of trying to push that narrative, we need to focus and shift it on our attention to the fact that try to find happiness in other things other than materials and things that are directly linked to money. And that is how you're going to successfully be able to divest from materialism. Because as long as you keep saying that money doesn't buy happiness, at this point it's cliche, and we know that money does buy happiness. Even if it's temporary happiness, it does. So we need to shift our focus from just divesting from, you know, associating materialism with happiness in general, and try to find other things in our lives that we can fulfill ourselves with and find happiness in those things. Especially with social media, it's a lot of pressure to keep up with what everybody's doing and what's the latest, what's the greatest, what's on trend, who has what. You know, it's a lot of pressure to try to keep up with that stuff. This is the type of things that we're being taught, that we're being programmed with these marketing and these advertisers. They really don't care about our well-being, our mental health, our life satisfaction. They just want us to buy at any cost. And again, there have been so many studies done on consumer behavior and the whole psychology behind it that does show increased anxiety and depression behind materialism and just consumerism in general. And that's part of the reason why I chose to adopt a minimalist lifestyle, or, you know, just ideology. Because, you know, with consumerism, there's just no end game. It just keeps going and going and going. And it's exhausting trying to keep up with that. Like iPhone just launched the iPhone 12, then the 12 Plus, then the 12 Max, then the 12 Mini. It's like, where does it stop? Like I still have the iPhone 6. It does everything I need it to and more. I don't have no problems with it. So from a utility standpoint, I'm not gonna go out and get an iPhone 12 just for the sake of having the iPhone 12, because it's just pointless to me.
so that people end up buying cars and houses and clothes that they can't afford to impress people that they don't even like, is the great epidemic in our society.
But that pretty much sums it up for me. You know, money and materials, equating all that to happiness and success, it's just a hamster wheel that you will never get off of. There are literally people who are billionaires who are still chasing money, never being satisfied from it or fully satisfied, because they invest their happiness in money and materials which never end. So if you want a constant pursuit of happiness and something that's not going to give you, just going to grant you minimal or momentary happiness at best, then just you go for it. But I personally don't want to do that. I don't want to live that type of lifestyle, so I choose not to. There's a documentary on Netflix called Minimalism, and I watched it a while back. It's pretty good, I like it. They really get into the psychology behind hyper-consumerism and just overall gets into the societal context of it, you know, spending, happiness, social status, earning money, working. It's just a lot that goes into it. So I recommend that you check it out. I will insert a trailer of it.
We spend so much time on the hunt, but nothing ever quite does it for us. And we get so wrapped up in the hunt that it kind of makes us miserable.
Black Friday shopping mania is still playing out tonight at malls across America.
High hopes of saving some big bucks on those holiday gifts.
Stores filled to the brim.
In some cases, it did turn violent.
We've, as a culture, have lost our minds.
One of the commentators on there is Juliet Score. I hope I'm pronounce her last name right. But she's an economist and she's also a psychologist, and she gives really good commentary. We've all been programmed to be hyper consumers. So if you want to divest from that and make a change, it's not necessarily going to be easy. It's going to take work and dedication, and it's going to take motivation. You have to want to do it. Because if I tell you to get rid of all the things that you don't need right now, that's going to be easier said than done for a lot of people. Because these things are not just things to them. First of all, it's a product of their earned money, their hard-earned money. But it brings them joy, it brings them comfort, and it has all these other ideas attached to it. So it's not going to be easy. But I think it's worth it if you want to, you know, give minimalism a shot. And I know it may be trendy and cool, but really, minimalism is only praised and celebrated when wealthy people do it. People don't celebrate minimalism enough, and most people see it as some trendy thing to do at best. But I think it's a real serious lifestyle that a lot of people should consider, at least in part. Like I said, it's a spectrum. Everyone practices differently. You don't have to just have a futon in your house or whatever, and one outfit and, you know, the bare minimum thing. That's not really the core of minimalism. That's just some way that some people choose to express. That's all I have for this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I will link the full clip of the trailer to the documentary Minimalism, that you can go check that out if you want to. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, keep supporting the channel. We're gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep putting out videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so turn on your post notifications. And let me know your thoughts on minimalism in the comments.